Why are they saying I can't? Why are they saying this? Little girl, I cannot hold you right now. I got other stuff going on. Lay down. Here you go. Get your bye-bye. I'm not sure when you finish, gonna continue. Raw information, whatever. I ain't got time for this shit. There. So Stephanie just called me. Stephanie just texted me and said that my daddy can't get Israel. They would just have to work it out. And I'm so grateful for that, because if he wasn't going to get him, I don't even know how the fuck I would feel about that shit, because I barely asked him for nothing. I don't ask him for nothing. I don't ask him for nothing. I ask my daddy for nothing. I don't ask my daddy for nothing. But we still got to figure out what's going on with Jeremiah. And then it's not even that, because the worker told me that Stephanie and Quinn can't even get Samaya. So I don't even know. I don't even know if they can get Samaya or Israel. So we're still going in fucking circles. Stephanie called and told me that that worker called and told her that she can't get him because something in the system came up. Then when I called the supervisor, they said that we don't know about that. We didn't hear that. We only heard about Patrick mama. So I'm waiting on my worker to call me back to see what's going on with Quinn and Stephanie, because if they can't get Quinn and Stephanie, then I don't know where they're going to go. And then not only that, I don't even know where the fuck Jeremiah going to go. And my whole thing is, you know what I'm saying? Let's say, for an example, that everybody can go with their family. So Jeremiah going to be the only one that's going into the fucking home? That's going to make him go buku crazies, bro. That's going to make Jeremiah going to snap if he find out that everybody want him. Everybody got their family but him. Let me call her because I don't. Patrick's phone is off. Patrick is a fucking bum. His phone is off. His phone is always fucking dead. He's fucking liable.
Okay, there you are. How are you?
I'm stressed out, but I'll be all right.
What happened?
I just got a call saying that the 2 children that's supposed to have been going with Patrick's mom, Patricia, can't go because they found out that it's something on her record. And then the other one that has Samaya, supposed to get Samaya, which is my daddy and his wife, they saying that they can't get them either. Well, we trying to figure out, is that true or not? Because I know that Quinn and Stephanie don't got nothing on their record.
You know what should have been on their record?
I know that my daddy and his wife don't have nothing on their record. And they said the same thing. So we trying to figure out, is she lying or not?
So you trying to figure out what the problem is?
Well, I already know what the problem is with, I don't even got to know the reason that was going on with Patrick and my mama, because I already know some history about them. But okay, as far as Quinn and Stephanie, no. And then my whole thing is, even if it come back that they can get Samaya, I asked them, well, can they get Israel too? They said, they just texted me back and said they can get Israel if they can. But I still don't have nobody who gonna get Jeremiah. And then my sister haven't even been approved yet for the twins. So push come to shove, all of the kids may be going to the system.
Yeah, but I think it'll work out in the end, because I don't think they want to put the kids in the system.
Yeah,
either. They don't gonna work hard to get a relative.
Yeah, they trying to see if I can get a relative, because they don't want to put them in the placement, because it's serious, but it's not as serious. You know what I'm saying? It's not. Right. I haven't beat my kids. They don't
want them in placement.
Yeah,
they want them.
Yeah,
a relative.
Right, but I don't. You know, I'm like an orphan damn near, so I don't talk to my family. You know that. You know what I'm saying? I don't talk to none of my family members. I don't have no support. I don't have no help. That's the reason why I brought Patrick in, because I ain't had no choice. That was the only help that I had at the time. Even if I knew that it wasn't, me and him wasn't going to work out. Like right now, my basement is flooded.
Yeah.
Where the kids sleep at.
Yeah.
And the reason why me and him got into it and I had brought him back. Remember I told you the police came and got him?
Yeah.
And then I brought him back because we was out without heat and water. And then that's when he had spanked Samaya. Now they trying to sit up here and say I failed you to protect the kids because I brought him back around. Well, the kids is back upstairs sleeping on my floor because, you know what I'm saying? The basement where they sleep at is flooded. They don't understand that I be stressed out about certain situations as a single mom, and I be needing help. And I can't go to my family and ask them for nothing. So I try to go to the guys that I had laid down and had the baby with, because it's more of their responsibility than my family, because I didn't sleep with them.
Yeah.
So that's my whole perception of it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't like my baby daddy raped her or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just, he's just not a good, he's just not a good role model because of his lifestyle.
Okay.
But as far as him being, I didn't think he was a danger to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But they think he's a danger to them. Why?
They think he's a danger to them because of what he did to Samaya.
I see.
And because we had domestic violence history.
Yeah.
So I talked to my lawyer, and he said that yeah, it's just he was just saying that it was gonna be a long process. It's not gonna be quick. He was saying that because I was gonna represent myself, and he was saying he highly advised me not to represent myself because he said I can say something off emotions,
right,
that can probably look bad. But I was telling him, like, I don't, that's the lawyer that I got right now is for my family court case. So it's two different cases that I'm dealing with. The case with Matthew is family court, and the other case was with CPS is juvenile court. So he's dealing with my juvenile court case. He said he can't deal with he dealing with my family court case. He said he can't deal with my juvenile court case because he can't represent me in that. I have to have another lawyer for that. So I said, well, it don't make no sense. Well, for me to speak to my lawyer the same day of my 15 minutes before my actual court time, that's not going to be enough time for me to explain to him the situation.
Yeah.
And he said, well, it's better than represent yourself still.
Okay.
But I feel like I can explain he can't explain to them the reason why I did what I did while letting Patrick back over there. I have to explain that. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody can't see it from my perception but me.
Yeah.
And I have valid reasons why. You get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. And it's irrational, it might sound to other people. When you explain it from your perspective, I guess you can make it make sense. Oh, hi, beautiful. Oh my gosh. You done grown since I've been calling.
Yeah. This Eliana
pretty.
Thank you. It's a lot. Did you hear me? I said they called the police on Jeremiah yesterday.
Yeah, I said why?
Because he was having these anger outbursts. And, you know, like, I was trying to tell them that. Nobody don't understand that that's one of the reasons why I was cussing in the first place.
Yeah.
But these are the same people that call CPS on me, but now they want to call the police on my son because they feel like he's the danger to the house. But when I'm cussing and fussing, I'm neglectful because I got verbal abuse. Meanwhile, y'all feel like it was the need to call the police to restrain him.
So who called?
The Bigo app called.
Okay. So they saw Jeremiah on the video acting out, and somebody called the police.
He was acting crazy and stuff like that. So my whole thing, I didn't cuss, I didn't fuss, I didn't raise my voice. I just kept telling him to stop and stuff like that. And so it's really nothing else what I could do.
Yeah. Well, they got it on video how he acts.
Right, they do. I have it on video now. And I don't know if I could. I probably tomorrow, because I got my court case is Thursday. I said tomorrow I'm gonna start taking up some videos or something like that.
Well, and who it needs to go to is where he goes to get evaluated. That's valuable information for them.
No, it's that too, because he had his counseling session yesterday.
Okay.
So my whole thing is it's more of needing to go to the judge so they can see me reacting the way that I reacted. They need to see the video of Samaya saying she wanted to off herself and me asking her like questions. I made sure I asked her, I said, is it because of the twins? Are you overwhelmed because of the twins? She said, no, it's my brother. I can't control. And then the simple fact that my sister be watching him and she be like, I can't deal with him. It's a simple fact that my own daddy don't want to get him. And it's a simple fact that if it was a lie that CPS said that the kids can actually go over there to them, that means that every child will have a family place to go to but him. And I feel like that's going to make him crazy.
Yeah.
If he find out that everybody has something, a place to go with him.
Everybody wants somebody, but nobody wants him.
Right. That's only going to make the situation worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm the mother that got to sit up here. Before even CPS was in my life, I was dealing with his anger outbursts. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like I didn't know how to deal with it at the time. So, because he was so aggressive, the only way that I can get his attention if I be barbaric with him and show him, oh, you can act like a monkey and act like a gorilla. Well, I can be King Kong then, because you're not about to put your hands on me, or you're not about to keep on putting your hands on them. So I had to cuss and show some type of authority to get his attention. But now it's
bottom line is you had to take control of your house.
Right. But now it's looking at me like I'm causing emotional and verbal abuse because the way that I handled the situation. And if no judge don't understand the situation that we in, considering the fact that my sister and my grandma is going to write a letter to them and let them know that the time that they had him, they couldn't deal with him. The simple fact that nobody in the family wants to deal with him, it's a simple fact that he can understand that verbal abuse and the emotional abuse that y'all talking about is coming from and stemming from the point that with him being here, acting the way he's acting, is causing a whole dysfunction in the household. Not only that, when they prescribe him medication, they have to understand that it makes him act out when they get in his system.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Medication having a reverse effect.
Right. So when he got a doctor's appointment tomorrow, I take him back to the pediatrician because the pediatrician put him on the Adderall. They put him on the lowest dose, but they said that he gonna act out on it. It may make him more angry. So that's what I've been getting. I've been getting the rebuttal from that. Mm-hmm. And so tomorrow, because he's still acting out, most likely they're gonna up the dose, and I have to deal with, whoever get him have to deal with those side effects and those reactions. They said that it's gonna make him more angry. They said it's gonna make him less he not gonna be more he not gonna want to eat. So sometimes when I cook food, I'll be like, Jeremiah, you hungry? He be like, no, I don't want nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then not only that, they schooled today and said that Israel was acting out for the last 2 weeks, and she said she done had him all school year and she couldn't figure out why all of a sudden he acting out. I didn't want to tell her my business, but I had to tell her because they in music class. I said, well, I'm going through a CPS case right now, and he may be having some effects from that. And she was like, oh, I'm glad you told me. Now I know how to deal with him. He's probably reacting to what's going on at the house.
That is true.
And then the icing on top of the cake and the sprinkles and the cherries is I'm pregnant.
Are you?
I am.
Oh my.
So it's just a lot.
Yes, it is. Yeah, that's a lot you dealing with.
And my lawyer gonna tell me. He gonna tell me. Well, you telling the judge that you got all these problems with your kids. That's not the judge's problem that your kids is having these problems and that you don't know how to deal with it. I said, oh really? But it's my problem that they all in my business telling me how to raise them. They don't have no. She said something. Well, it's not really the judge. No, it is. He's a juvenile judge. He's deal with juvenile. If Jeremiah was 15 years old and he stole a car, we would have to go to juvenile court, correct? So that's the same type of judge that deal with the same case that I'm going through. So why is it that y'all got all these programs for juvenile delinquents, but that steal cars and shoot their parents and stuff like that, but you don't have no type of resources, and it's not your responsibility or to provide help to a child that haven't even got there to do that stuff yet. But you can see from the reaction of how he carried himself that he might be leading down that road.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, they got to get Jeremiah's medication straightened out.
Yeah, I found out.
Function.
Right, I found that out. I'll find that out tomorrow.
Yeah, so he can at least function. Because the main thing I don't want is for him to do something that will hurt himself. And I don't mean hurt himself necessarily physically, but will take him off the rails and he end up suffering some bad consequences.
Right, by harming his family or something like that.
Right, or causing, he's already causing havoc in the home with the other kids. Israel may simply be copying Jeremiah. Jeremiah is the old.
Right, so that's the thing. So Israel, he's my youngest from the old. He's the third boy that I have, and actually Israel is one of the sweetest boys that I have. But Hezekiah is right under Jeremiah, and he's been acting out so bad.
Yeah, because he's seeing his brother do stuff.
Yeah, like I did everything you told me to do, Miss Norris. I did everything you told me to do. I did everything you told me to do. Like, I didn't cuss. I told him to get in the wall. He thought he wasn't going to do it. This is Hezekiah. I told him, you're going to sit down and you're going to write.
Well, that's because he's seeing his brother do it.
But what that got to do with me, though? Because I'm the one that's going through this. If you told me to put him in a corner or tell him to write, I told him to write 9 times, I will obey my mom. He going to write. I saw him write, I will obey my mother 9 times. He gonna throw the book at me, and I read it. He said he gonna put down, I will not obey my mom.
Yeah, so he's smart enough. He know what he's doing.
And I did it, and I didn't cuss, I didn't yell, none of that. I told him to get to that wall. He was banging on it. He didn't get to that wall. I spent 2 hours of me being consistent. When Jeremiah acting up, I said, when I tell you to do something, I'm not going to engage with you. You can say whatever you want to say. You know, when you tell them to do something, when they call you all types of names, do whatever. I don't care what you say. And there ain't no man gonna ever want you. They're gonna leave you. I don't care what you say. You're gonna make sure I'm not giving you back this cake. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I stayed firm on whatever you said to do, but that does not negate the fact that they acting out. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I tell them to I can't make them get into the wall.
Yeah.
All I can do is tell them, because it's a CPS case open and they feel like I'm just the worstest thing that's happening to them. Meanwhile, in between time, y'all want the streets to raise them, because if me yelling at them saying go, and guess what, Miss Norris? I went 2 hours without cussing at them, right? Jeremiah was acting like he couldn't get control one day. We was sitting in the back room. Then I said, boy, if you don't sit your mother effing down right now, I'm going to beat your ass. And he said, yes, ma'am.
That's how he's used to being talked to.
What's not today? It is. It's on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Okay, well, you need to go ask them. Is the group? Because you feel like, did you give them the information? No, it's not on Wednesdays. It's not on Wednesdays. It's today. Go and ask them and call me back. All right. All right, bye. She finally sleep. She go to sleep, the other baby wake up. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay, that's the other baby. That's sister. So Jeremiah, that's what he's accustomed to.
This making my head hurt.
And the fact is, by you ignoring him all that time, when you start cussing at him, he knew that was serious. Whereas you've been cussing all the time, and they don't pay no attention to you.
Right.
So at least that time, he sat up and paid attention.
Right. But CPS says that's verbal abuse, though.
Okay. And that is true. That is true. But one of the things is, until you get that situation under control and you can get him where he responds to the other things you say, then you're going to have to keep that off the video, for one. Because until you get that under control.
But my whole thing is, the reason why I said, like, I was thinking that too, Miss Norris. I was like, well, if he respond, like, if I say, be nice to him and keep ignoring him and stick to the guns and don't ever cuss at him. But if I swipe up and be like, oh, then sit your mother sucking stuff down and then go back on live, I feel like that he's going to still be accustomed to me having to use cussing words to discipline.
Right, I got you.
So when I'm on live or when I'm in public in a grocery store, he know I can't just swipe up and say, go sit yourself down. So he's going to be only accustomed to me. I can't train him in only being accustomed to me saying cussing words in order for him to listen, because when we in other settings, he's not gonna respond to that. I ain't gonna be able to do it.
So the same thing you're doing with the cussing, you can still say, if you don't sit your butt down, you're not doing such and such.
I did that already.
What is it that he likes?
Well, I did that already. That's gonna make it worse, Miss Norris. When I took the game away from him, that's when he started punching doors. When I take the cake away from him, or I say you can get back on your game for the whole day, or if you don't do this, you can't get back. It just makes it worse. And we already discussed it. It's gonna get worse before it get better. So that's what we're going through.
But it will get better if you stick to it. See, what he already knows, you gonna give in.
I haven't gave in though. I haven't gave in.
But if you give in, he already know. If I go on the nut enough, she gonna give it to me. If I make it worse, she gonna give it to me.
So do we talk?
And what he's doing, he's terrorizing the other kids.
Right.
He's terrorizing the other kids because your other daughter already said. What did she say? You said that she gonna do what?
She said she wanted to off herself.
Yeah, but that means kill yourself, right? Because of him. So he knows what he's doing to the other kids. And if I was to observe, I would think the other kids scared of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, they scared of him. And that's not their fault. Quite naturally, people are afraid of people that's aggressive.
Right. And it's crazy because I did the Steven Spielberg questionnaire that his pediatrician told me to give to his school. And out of he got 3 different teachers. And one of the teachers said this normal stuff that I know he do, like fidget with his hands, look in the sky, stuff like that. But in 2 other classes, they got mostly all 3s. So I see that he act up more in different classes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's after lunch, it's before lunch, because before my grandma died, she said that sometimes the lunch food that they get.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello? 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 Yeah, now I can. What'd she say? All right. Just catch the bus home. All right. Bye. So I don't even know what to do, Miss Norris, because they about to come home soon. I don't know. Because I talked to the lady, and she said that if the judge approved the removal, they get removed that same day. And I already told her what was going on, but I told them that Jeremiah and Israel, that he was going to go over Patricia, but we just found out today that they can't go over there. And so at this point, Israel may have waiting for the CPS supervisor to call me back to see if even my daddy can get the 2 kids that he said he could get. So that would still leave me with 4 kids without a placement. You know, yeah. It's just crazy. So if they have to go to a home, I can't change that. I can't force it. It's out of my hands when it comes to that.
Well, we not claiming that. Your sister, they have to wait on that. She said she'd take the twins.
I know, but she lived with my grandma at the house where we was at. And that house is full of stuff.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to let them go over there.
Yeah, got you. Now, Jeremiah and Israel are your oldest, right?
No. Jeremiah is my second oldest and my first son. And then Israel, he's my third son. But Samaya and Jeremiah and Israel got the same daddy.
Samaya, Jeremiah, and Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I thought. And so that's why Patricia was going to take them.
Yeah, that's why they was going to take them. But she not approved, so.
Yeah, she didn't get approved. Nobody else in Patrick's family.
I don't know, because Patrick is not answering his phone. He's very unreliable. He don't keep a phone on. And he's just very irritating.
Okay. And they're not going to approve Patrick at all.
I don't know. I would have to, my grandma's still at work. I would have to see if it's any other family member. The lady said if she could see if I could see any family member.
Yeah, because I'm thinking, what about Patricia? Can she get other family members?
Right. I would have to get in touch with Patrick to know that. And then my whole thing, I got a couple of people on the app that could probably get them, but I don't even know if they're going to approve them because they're in a different state.
Oh, yeah. No, they're not. Yeah. Well, they're going to try to look here first.
Mm-hmm. So, did you talk to me over my mental health? My mental health is fine. I'm the strongest woman I know. So,
yeah.
I'm mentally okay. I haven't cried about it.
Yeah.
I haven't dropped a tear.
You know, too, as far as your own mental health is being affected by what's happening with the kids.
Right.
You a mother, your mental health is going to be affected by what's happening. Your mental health in this respect is going to be situational. Your mental health is affected by what's happening in your household.
Right. And I feel like there's no reason, because I don't like to cry, because I feel like crying only makes me go into more of self-pity and sorrow and guilt. Yeah. And it just makes me
you want to be
strong. Yeah.
You want to be proactive and instead of crying, brainstorm, what can I do?
Right, because crying not going to fix nothing.
Right.
It's only going to make me feel more weak. You know, because sometimes people can, like last time I went to the mental hospital, I couldn't stop crying. Like I stayed crying for 3 days. And I know that can be dangerous to cry, not to cry in certain situations because it's building up. And I think that's what happened in that situation. Like I didn't cry for so long after like my car went down. I was late on my rent, facing eviction. I never cried. And then one time it was just something simple in the house as far as not having no tissue. And that was just threw me over the loop.
Sure. And it was straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So like.
Then too, you couple that with being pregnant and hormones all over the place.
Right. So. it just is what it is. Like I said, it's not a time to be crying. This is a time to figure out what I could do. Plan A, plan B, plan C. And not only that, once the judge put an order in, I can't do nothing about that order. I can't. So there's no reason for me to be crying and upset about it. People be like, oh, I'll be boo-hooing crying if my kids go into a placement. Well, I'm not you. And if they're saying, like, because the judge looked for certain reactions, like, they look, because they wrote that down when I did cry, when they said that they was going to have somebody come to the house and help me out, because I thought that it was something that, it was a blessing for me. So she wrote it down. So they look for certain reactions to see how you will react. Would you cry? Would you be yelling? So I feel like when the judge find out, whenever he say what he say, that I'm not dropping no tear, I'm not going to be mad, none of that. I hope he don't see that as me not caring. That's just my defense mode. And then not only that, I smile a lot. Like, when I'm going through stuff, like, I may smile. And people like, why the hell is she laughing? Why is she smiling? Yeah. Because that's kind of like, I do that to, like, it kind of helps me from crying, to smile and laugh, you know? Yeah. But if somebody else looking in at it may be like, oh, she's crazy, or she don't care. You know what I'm saying? Why would I not care? I wouldn't be here. If I didn't care, I would have been like, deuces, y'all can have them. I'm about to go to New York. Like, I wouldn't fight for this. I wouldn't still be sitting up here trying to figure out this, and that if I didn't care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it just is what it is. I can't change it.
Well, one of the things is using.
I feel like we can't even talk about the kids no more moving forward, because they might not even be here. So what's the point of me getting some parenting classes if they're not gonna be here?
That's true. But the parenting classes, supposedly, you got to show you that you've been learning something different. Even though it's not been working, you've been learning something different, putting forth the effort, and that you willing to try new things. Until they absolutely say you losing your parental rights.
No, they did say that. They did say that they're not trying to take my parental rights away.
That's right. That's
so
right.
They said that
taking your parental rights. So as long as they not taking your parental rights,
I can get them back.
They giving you a chance. Parenting classes are important. So don't say, I don't need no, even though you might feel that way. I don't need no, why am I taking parenting class? Because they working on reunification.
Okay.
They working on reunification. And by you taking the parenting, you showing that you willing to try something different. Now, when you try something different, even though it may not work, you tried it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I can accept that.
Try. You tried this, you tried that.
Okay, well, I guess
they want to be willing to see that you put forth the effort.
Right.
Now, going back to the kids acting out for 2 hours, hitting the walls, all of that is part of testing you. Very frustrating. It's very, very frustrating. Because they will do anything they can to get your attention. And when Jeremiah said, yes, ma'am, he was back in his comfort zone. I got my old mama back. So how do you turn the old mama into a new normal?
I have to just be consistent and not using cursing words. So he didn't know.
That's going to be the hardest fight of your life. Is giving them a new normal. It is.
Yeah, it is.
Giving them a new normal is the hardest fight of your life. Because once kids get a certain age, that's just like trying to make a grown man change.
Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of people say on the internet too. Like, you should have started when it was young. Well, we can't talk about what I should have, could have.
Say what it should have, could.
Right, we can't do.
We all know that.
Right, we already know should have, could have, would have. We talk about now, and right, I know
about now. That's why I'm saying it's so hard.
Yeah,
because it's ingrained in them.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't never give up on nobody.
And plus, they still kids. They're not even.
So you could just, this is a new day.
Right.
I'm not about to go through that. You can fight, scream, punch the wall all you want. You still not getting your game cookies or whatever that you're not getting. One day it'll click.
So can I physically touch him and remove him or restrain him?
You can do removal and remove them and restrain them as long as there's no marks on them.
Okay.
Now, it used to be a program. I know some guys that worked in a program, and I'm not sure what agency, where you have mentors, but all these guys work with special needs kids. Now, that's if Jeremiah get a diagnosis, where they come in the home after school, like from 4 to 8.
That's perfect. That'd be nice.
They come in the home and do activities with the person who has the special needs. And
well,
so,
I don't know if I told you, but I put the IEP in, so
then then you already know he got special needs if you did the IEP. But when I was working, there were some people that I worked with in the afternoons. They went to a home and worked one-on-one with a certain kid.
That's beautiful.
Jeremiah sounds like a perfect candidate for that.
Yeah, he is.
So while you doing stuff with the
because
other
actually,
kids,
like one day, out of last week, I put a lot of energy into him, and I was telling him I love him, and just talking to him. And that next day, after he came home from school, he was so sweet. He did everything I told him to do. He was saying yes, ma'am. But so I was saying, like, okay, maybe I need to every day make it a mission until whatever happens, that I just take some personal time just for him and because I feel like maybe that's what it is. It was kind of hard for me to do that with all of the other children because I got the twins. So it can't never just be no me and him time. But I could probably ask Samaya and Hezekiah to get the twins for a while, shut down the internet, shut down everything, and just making sure that me and him personally have some one-on-one time and maybe see.
So that's a beautiful story that you just told. The next day he was so sweet.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how he might feel or what he's going through as a student with an IEP at school and feeling like he the dumbest one in the class?
Right.
So you say he got an IEP. Is the IEP for his behavior? Have you noticed? Does he have problems with reading and math?
I just put the IEP in. They got 30 days to approve it. But I did this Williams thing, the Stingberg thing, and it's like maybe a 30 questionnaire where each teacher fill it out, and they ask him like, is he disruptive? Do he bully? Do he fidget with his hands? Do he answer questions? They ask all mental and physical behavior. And like I said, only 2 of the teachers gave a lot of bad remarks off of it. And it talks about him. Hey, Grandma, you at home? I'm gonna call you right back. It's important. All right, bye.
Yeah, because we'll be clicking off any minute. They just gave me the warning. But anyway, so the other thing to focus on is the teacher who said he wasn't that bad. What is she doing? What kind of techniques is she using with them? And maybe some of those we can incorporate at home.
Right, we could.
Ask her. I noticed that you said Jeremiah not that bad with you. Can I walk me through a day of you and what you do with him? Or in your class, what goes on in your room?
Well, I think, like I said, I think it's him wanting my attention because he had been diagnosed with ADHD already. So I know that there is an attention deficiency that he lacks. And it doesn't necessarily mean what he put his attention to, but it can be the lack of, it's just he needs more attention to help him function. Because he maybe felt neglected in some form because of his diagnosis with ADHD. So I believe that whatever the judge said, like I told the CPS worker, it ended.